All right, folks, welcome in the ring to each and every one of you officially. You all forgive my bopping. Listening to the music at the back end, waiting for it to subside. Good to have all of you here, folks, wherever you're joining us from. Even the trench crappos, even the jagabats, even the cricketers, even the jumbie boards. Good to have all of them. Pace and power, folks. Colvis Bino, Clear Alexis, Charmley Richmond, Michelle Love. Good to have you on. Denise Timothy, Edward Brooms, Rishi Ramlakan, Spurley. Did I call it right? Did I call that right? Edward Brooms, yes. Elmore George, yes. June Cameron, Spurley, Wilmer Grant. Is it Tonza or is it Tassa Daniels? Good to have you too. Winella Garnett, Mandy Cummins, Marcy Agard is here. Good to have Amelia Dennis. Good to have Wilmer Grant. Good to have June Cameron. All of you fantastic folks on the light tonight. Naomi Drucker, good night. Rock and come in, Naomi. Pace and power. Volme Wilson, good to have you too. And all you other wonderful, beautiful folks, good to be here with you. I'm thankful. As long as we got live, folks, there's not a day to make a difference. There's another day to make a difference. 862 of you thus far. Well, 88 now. 888. Good to have all of you on the live. Wherever you're joining us from, share the live for us. Smash that emoji. But y'all know critics have finished the Bellevue pump station thing yet. You even start properly. 10% complete. It's making the rounds in the press today. Yeah. Good evening, folks. Good evening. 962 and climbing. He ain't finished the pump station yet. What are we waiting on, critics? I see critics giving legal advice. He just gave legal advice last Thursday. Over the weekend, he's giving legal advice. What is illegal? What is not? What are people's rights in flying drones? Among other things. Happy that you all are on the live with us tonight, folks. With no other bunch of folks. With the exception, maybe one and two. You know how am I supposed to say that? With the exception of a couple of the Jagabats and Trench Crappos. Gloria Chester, good evening to you. Deborah Pearson, Leon Blair, come on down. How y'all doing? Sandra Joyce, Rishi, Anthony, Pim. Good to have you folks. So much happening politically. How y'all doing? Y'all fed up yet? So much happening politically in this country. You blink, you miss 6 months. You blink, like sis, you miss 6 months. Who me? Yes, you. You miss 6 months. Who me? Carlisle Madu, Renita Gift. Good to have you, Renita, on the light. Claudine LaRose Duqua. Claudine, how you doing? Good to have Claudine on the live tonight from Kokwani. Folks, Kokwani is beautiful, and Claudine and family, the LaRose, they have the Burbis River in the backyard. Yeah, the Burbis River in Kokwani. In the backyard. You go over the fences, the river you're watching. So much beauty. Good to have you all on the live too. The entire family. Good to have you all on the live tonight. I'll come back soon. Please and thank you. Yeah, I want the same bed in the back room by the side window. Austin, Janet, Mandy, good to have all of you on the live tonight. Folks, it's a real privilege to be here with you all. You know, it touches us that you all show up in this way. Zamal, Wendy, Dorrit, it really touches us that you all show up in this way. So ring the bell one time for all of you, wherever you all joining us from. Good to have each and every one of you on the live. We had Mohammed's over the weekend. You know, Mohammed's took over the whole weekend. The whole weekend. You know, took it over. Thanks for Change had a National Executive Conference over the weekend. I didn't see them put out a statement, so I don't know how much I should say. You know, in relation to the election, I don't know. Better not say anything. Least them said to be leaking information. Folks, at least, you know, they had a National Executive Conference. First up, let me tell you the rest. They had a National Executive Conference. Now, we got so much, we might even get a chance to stick that in. We're going to have all of you on the live tonight. Wherever you're joining us from, folks, welcome in the ring. Tis this season, I didn't tell y'all. Tis this season. Here's where we there. Here's where we been. Folks, my God, where are you on Saturday? Let's start there. First things first. Region 3 happened over the weekend to Irfan Ali. President Irfan Ali, he was in Region 3. Over the weekend, he was in Region 3. I just heard myself there, and my God, affect my own hearing. You ever vex your own self? Yeah. Affect, you see, I bring down my tone a little bit. Affect my own hearing. This season, folks, so much is happening. So many things. And Michelle, folks, I see folks want to contribute to the program to keep us going. Look, let me post a link. We rather you all use the link. You see, when you do it via YouTube, we love it. We love money anyway, any which way. Any which way. Right? Let me just let you all know that. But when you use the link, we can almost have access to it immediately. YouTube takes a percentage, and then we got to wait till the end of the month. 2. So, Mazaroon is in the house, folks. This is season. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. I don't know if we head, and as we head further into this political season, silly season, Madness Alley, if we'll see a little more parties, some more parties emerging. But this is it. Leonard hasn't declared it yet. Ashuddin Mohammed has not declared it yet. But he reckoned up the whole board, man. Humble yourself, the man. Reckon up the whole board. So good evening, folks, and welcome. Let us start there. All right, you know what? Let us start properly. You open up, because a lot of things happened over the weekend. From Friday, we had that address case, residency case, and all of that happening. Now, the open, is it open or the closer? Hold on. What kind of back to front program? We're going to find 2 people tonight, you know. Shucks, you can't, we got 2 people running around here. Y'all just this sabotage this thing, you know. You ever wake up good, and then you run into 2 people right in your place after trying to sabotage the thing? The opener, folks, the opener. On Sunday's program of Nation Watch, another good place for valid and credible information. On Sunday's program of Nation Watch, folks, of Nation Watch, Commissioner Vincent Alexander sat down with the able Mervyn Williams. He sat down with Mervyn Williams, and he was trying to rationalize the ruling of the Chief Justice. He said he don't agree with it. He does not agree with it. We need a clean voters list. We need biometrics. What else we need, folks? You all should know this by rote now. 4+ years we've been saying it. We need some systemic changes at GCOM. Claudette must go. Claudette must go. You see? Why not let us start there? Vincent Alexander sitting down with Mervyn Williams over the weekend, talking the things. Take a look, take a listen.
Member of the Guyana Elections Commission, Vincent Alexander, believes that Chief Justice Roxanne George didn't consider all the aspects of the law when she ruled on the residency matter. Chief Scrutineer of the People's National Congress Reform, Carol Joseph, had moved to the court for a ruling.
So somebody who does not live in a constituency merely give an address and be allowed to vote in that constituency. Should somebody who doesn't live in a local area, NDC for example, merely give an address and be allowed to vote in that NDC? Should somebody who doesn't live in a region merely give an address and be allowed to vote in that region? Somebody who doesn't live in a constituency, notwithstanding the technicalities of that election, be allowed to vote to influence who will be the electors in the constituency? My answer is no.
He reiterated that not every position was considered.
And clearly Provision 159, which she refers to, was not considered in its totality. But there are other provisions which may not have been referred to in the case. that were not taken into consideration.
The Chief Justice was quoted that the electoral laws are all over the place. Alexander said that the statement could be interpreted to mean that the law is conflictual.
Her statement about the law being all over the place and this need for legislative intervention could not be a reference other than that there is incongruency in the law. In other words, the law is conflictual. And I would agree with her that the law is conflictual because the amendment, in fact, which removes residency and talks about a claim, is in conflict with our Constitution.
He said that the laws should be interpreted contextually. Every entity speaks the proof of address, be it light, water, or even school registration.
And so when the registration officer goes to someone, or someone goes to the registration officer and says, here's my claimed address, and they can't prove that address, the registration officer is not denying someone the right to vote. For two reasons. One, that person will have the right to vote in the national fifth level of the elections. Yeah. But what the registration officer is essentially doing is saying, look, in order to exercise your right, it has to be in the place where you belong.
People have the right to vote, but rights are never absolute, says Alexander.
If someone is registered and allowed to vote where he or she does not belong and influences the outcome of those elections, that person is in fact negatively impacting the exercise of the right of the person who lives there.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. We have 2,600 of you on the live, 13 minutes in. Oh, y'all like politics, man. Y'all like politics? Good to have you, folks. Share the damn live. Smash that emoji button, folks. You know, once you come into 592. Once you come into 592, what obtains? Folks, what a weekend it was. What a weekend. The people at the gate. Weekend was about Asruddin Mohammed as much as it was about Fatah. Hold on. Pull it back. It was about Asruddin Mohammed as much as it was about Fatah. If you don't know who Fatah is, you don't worry yourself. Don't worry yourself. See when Fatah take off the wig, sir, better, sir. It's war break here now. War break here now. Take off the wig, sir, make so. Trouble in the dance. I used to see them GRA officers backing up, sir. All right. It's which way we come in. See, take off the wig, sir. Y'all women got some hidden talents, you know. Kim Walker, Mandy Dolly, you know. Father get some too much tips over the weekend. Take off the wig, sir, make sir. Do some moves, sir. Matrix ain't got nothing on Father. Matrix ain't got a goddamn thing on Father. You know? Matrix got one or two, sir. See, Father makes a pop, pop, pop. Take off the wig. You put Father on the front lines there by Ankoko, Yarakita, Imbatero. Huh? You put Father there. We done this border controversy, you know. I see Sheriff saying they're bringing in a fancy drone. Drone? You want Fat in the skies. Take out the wig. Target, boy. Target hit. You see? West Indies and CPL. Them boys hang get butter. You see Fatim knock the targets out. What? She had to square up and, you know, stretch it all out, you know. Two moves, sir. Back. Trained by Silver Fox. Take all the way to make so. Hit a target. You put Fat on the border. Put Fat on the border. Story done. You see Delcy Rodriguez and the other one, Maduro, acting up. Delcy Rodriguez telling us that we're plotting with the Americans to hit the ExxonMobil vessel out there in the Atlantic. We can cripple we own self, knowing that the people just knock me with 38% tariff. We can make it worse now and cripple the thing that bringing in the money. That's what Delcy preaching. We need a standing army and all of that. We don't need that. You know? We don't need that. Right? You put fat out there. That boat starts circling, asking all kind of questions. Take off the wicks and make some whap. You see Delcy hitting the road in Caracas there. So Fatah was as much the weekend as Ashuddin Mohammed was, folks. So let's take it from there. GRA arrived at the house of businessman and philanthropist Ashuddin Mohammed. Just in case you've been on the rock and didn't have a chance to see it over the weekend, folks. And what happened from there? My God. It was an influencers mixer at the Ashuddin's at the Mohammed's residence in Houston. It was an influencer mixer. So let's take it from there, folks. Let's take it from there. And what he said, I heard Ashuddin said, look, I know who's the culprits here. It's Barack, it's Irfan, it's Anil. I got some things I can start saying. Very soon, he said. Take a look.
Motor vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Got the documents there?
Oh, sure. This is a writ of assistance. The letters would have been sent to you via register mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop fighting him, man. Now.
Fighting the new president.
This is developing right now at the home of businessman Ashuddin Mohammed. Agents of the Guyana Revenue Authority along with the police force have surrounded the home of businessman Ashuddin Mohammed to seize several luxury vehicles, but the support here for the businessman is grand. Lots of his supporters have surrounded the home of the businessman as well, and it seems like the agents of the Guyana Police Force and the GRA will have quite a difficult time in accessing the vehicles that they have come for.
Very soon I have a lot of things to put in the public domain. Who instructed the release of these vehicles? It came from high up when the vehicles arrived in this country. I have all the proof, and I will expose it so the public can see how wicked and vindictive these persons are.
Some of what took place on the 5th, folks, Saturday, the 5th day of April. And we're going to mark that day for a long time, you know. It never gets old. You know, that moment the GRA officer realized, you know, he realized what he realized. You know, he realized, you know, as I shift that man, it's not them people pouring out there, you know. I started wondering, is how much properties make up this house here? I see about 5,000 people advance to the gate. See, what story is this? You know, man, the man forget what he say, you know. The man forget what he saying. It's like the ground had butter, the man started skating. The man started skating. And you see, he advanced his phone. You see how the man advanced his phone? It's not GRE calling, it's not up. It's home. When you're in danger, you calling your workplace? No. So, hon, I love you. Tell Lil Savitri that I love her. Tell Tommy Tim. Tell him I love him. It was the privilege and joy of my life to be their father, and I love you too, hon. Whatever happens, yeah, I love you, hon. Nobody don't call. You see, you turn, you know. I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. You turn around Michelle Lowe. You see people. You see people. You know, some people left the place. You know, leave. Leave. I want to choose my words correctly. Leave situations like that different. People leave situations like that different. You know? You all remember time Kwame went in a situation like that? You remember time? Huh? You remember time Kwame was in a situation like that? Next time you see Kwame in a bed, sir. You remember that? The man said, I got some things I have to say. Right? Very soon. Y'all heard that? Well, I can remind him. I remind him of the same show. As you don't remember, you say I had some things to say. Now is the time. Man, look back, sir, boy. That was the moment he knew. Jacqueline, what did he know? Look back, sir, 1. Look back, sir, 2. That was the moment. Was the moment. You see me coughing there? I just imagining that getting hit. It's not the numbers that intimidate the man. Let me tell you all. It's not the numbers. The man looks up. It is told back channel. So the man went back to the office. He said, take me out for road assignment. I ain't delivering nothing no more. Take me off. Transfer me. I ain't delivering anything anymore. Numbers, you know. It's not the numbers that intimidated him. The man looked back, he see Fata coming. He said, look Wick's story now. Listen, I grew up in that age. We had to be respectful to our elders, eh? Couldn't call people full mouth. So I can say Miss Fata or the Fata. Put your tongue between your teeth. The Fata. You see? Man look back, you see Fata coming. Right? He know Fata by reputation, you know. He know Fata never come close to you. Fata hands straight. Fata was trained by Malinga. Oh, somebody take the mic. My wife can come and take the phone anytime now. Fata was trained by Malinga. You see? Fata got well trained. Here, look, it's not the numbers that intimidate you, you know. It's not the numbers. No, don't get it wrong. Folks, it's not the numbers. No. You look back. You see a woman looking. All y'all know you getting out the line in your house. See the woman start shaping up, sir. You know? Yeah. If it's a one move, sir, you still got hope. You know, when 2, sir, back, you know you're in for trouble. You know, 5 seconds hit you with 3 moves. Pop, pop, pop. Folks, y'all in this country don't take nothing serious, you know. It is my studied opinion. Y'all don't take nothing serious at all. At all. Nothing. So you heard Mr. Muhammad says, I got some things I can tell you all later on. Right now, I left them up to Fata. Tonight. Well, all that was happening, folks. You know, Fata got them, sir. missiles being launched there. You know, we felt the tremors miles away. Mr. Mohammed said some other things too. And we know them to be true. They're distracted. We heard Dr. Carter from the Mary Health Center who said they didn't have the basics. It's when they heard the fund coming, then they sent a couple of things. You could imagine what happened in Region 3 over the weekend. It's when the president coming, then the trench can get clean, the grass can get cut, you know, the garbage can get picked up. It's that state of affairs, that state of affairs, that state of affairs. So we know some of the things that Answerin said this country should be focused on. This administration, this government, this regime, this installed government should be focused on. We know it's the truth. We know it's the truth. Take a look.
I hope the international community is seeing what is going on here. We have more important things to address. Healthcare is in a mess. Education is in a mess. You know, public servants working for a pittance. We got a lot of issues to address in this country.
I heard the resounding cry from some of your supporters here is that they also need a better life. Are you prepared, if you enter the presidential race, are you prepared to give them that?
Of course. Of course. Of
Much as we go in place, we have studied everything to make it.
Yeah, you heard it there, folks. You heard it there. We got a lot of things we can be focused on. A lot of things. And he said if he decides to run, he's going to fix them. He is going to fix them. You heard it there. And the folks, I mean, the people speaking, this is the man here. It's he. More than that you want. More than that you want. But then, you know, the very serious moment, he said that this pressure here with this tax and this car situation with GRA that caused the man to look back. So, you know, the man left with any car he came for. He got on suspension now. This whole car situation, Andrew didn't say it's political. He said they want him to do something. He says he's not going to do and disappoint those folks there. He said he believes he could be good for this country. He's not about to disappoint the people. You know, he says it's not about these cars here. It's before that. It is before that. That's what he said. Take a look, take a listen. Some of what the fellas said. He says it's not just about this. Take a look. Not just about this.
The vehicles were approved. Everything went through the legal process at GRA. So why seize the vehicles now 4 years after? But before I released the post on Facebook, what Barrett is talking about, right, that exposed GRA and GRA made a release and that's how the vehicle was seized, that's a lie. The reason why I released that post is because a month prior to that, Jagdio and Nandalal told me that they're coming to seize the vehicles if I don't release a statement that I'm not running for office.
So this is political.
Political. We have proof. They approved these vehicles even before it arrived in this country. They approved it. I have all the proof. But in the right time, I will release it so that the nation can see how wicked and vindictive these people are. That's all I have to say. 1 month, just listen, 1 month before I made that post on Facebook stating how much I paid, they already told me that they will investigate the vehicles and they will investigate our gold business. And that's why I made the post.
And again, you were saying that both Mr. Jagdio, the Vice President, and the Attorney General say to you must issue a statement that you are not going to run for political office or you're going to be prosecuted in this way.
Yes. Yes.
We await those evidence, please.
Thank you very much.
We are in our country. We are the country.
A lot of persons wanted to come here, right? I had to tell them, no, it's okay. Thousands of persons wanted to come here this morning. I tell them, no, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
members inside the fucking building in there. The land is there. You can see PVP members in there.
Tell me what took place there, folks, on Saturday. Where were you? Where were you on Saturday? That wasn't all. The good book said when these things happen, it's not the end, it's the beginning. It's the beginning of sorrows, and I tell you, it's the season. That's just one weekend, you know. And we even come to here, Funny Region 3 and Tandai, and, you know, what one weekend we got to put this show as a 2-hour show. We halfway through. We halfway through, and the aim is to give you a snapshot of what has happened in this country. You know, we halfway through. So that's just some of what transpired. He says, this is the real thing here. They asked me to drop out. They say I'm not interested in political office. And the status quo, we shall revert to the status quo. I don't want to do that. So then is when this whole car business start now. Then is when the pressure start. Then is when the pressure start. And by morning of that next day, of course, you know, the court intervened on Saturday with an injunction preventing and blocking GRA from taking the vehicles. Oh, they look like a cent ice. They look like a cent ice. But the very next day, the barber to the Mohammeds woke up and found that 2 of his vehicles were destroyed. Destroyed. Take a look.
Victor Singh, a barber for the Mohammeds, lost his car to fire late Saturday night into Sunday morning. The car was parked outside his home at Providence, East Bank, Demerara.
So around 3 this morning, I woke my wife up. I said, I'm going across in my son's room. She said, okay, I'm going to come just now. When I go in the room, as soon as I lie down, she opened the door and she comes in. I heard a big boom. A big boom. I run out the room. I opened the room. The other front room, checked my kids. My kids was okay, they were fine. But when I pull the blind now and I look out, I see the big flame.
Initially, he thought that his house was on fire. He said he grabbed the fire extinguisher, opened his door, and saw his car on fire. Even with the support of his neighbors, he couldn't save his car.
And the neighbors now, they come out and tell me that, you know, we heard a car kick off with a drastic speed. And shortly after we hear the boom and stuff like that. So everybody start, you know, running the camera footage and see, you know, what's up, what's next and this. And that's when I saw the video that someone parked beside the truck here. They came 3 times, try lighting, 3 times, and the car would not light.
The 48-year-old Singh said that he has been a barber for more than 30 years. He said that he doesn't create enemies. He therefore has no known enemies, he said.
And I do my job very professionally. Wherever I go and work, I do my work. I don't get problem with nobody. I have never, ever fought in my life. No fight, nothing. Right? I walk away from over 50 fights because I know better. Right? And if there's someone out there who could say something that I and them provoked or some problem or something, I mean, they got to be somewhat out of a kind. Because, you know, I can drive anyway, windows down. I can't even line on the public road. Everybody just stop. Hey, what's up, Vic? What's up, bro? Hey, look. I know everybody. I live good with everybody.
He couldn't say that he was targeted because of his relationship with the Mohammeds. The area is protected by sheriff security.
The area is protected by sheriff. I want to pretend I didn't hear that. It's protected by sheriff security. You heard that? But talking about sheriff. There was a drone zoom over the Mohammed's house over the weekend. And then photographs and video was appearing on a news site. Daily News. Guyana Daily News. You know, miraculously, drone over the house, then videos and photographs of the house. Drone shots appearing on the news site. And Sunday afternoon, oh, what a weekend it was. Sunday afternoon, what a weekend it was. A young man was apprehended. He says, no, he says not him. We learned that the memory card for the drones were destroyed or could be found. Yet he says he was working in this area. He says off camera, he was traumatized by the guns that were drawn and the way the interception went down. He said how traumatized he was in tears. All that is the weekend, All that is one weekend. Take a look at the moment he's intercepted by the police and some of what he said afterwards.
Mr. Azadine came to the front side by the driver. The other guys came out to the left side, the front and the rear. The two cars, all three of them armed with weapons, pointed to the car glass, and they keep knocking on the car, come out to the car, come out to the car. When I saw the car pull up, I locked my windows and my doors immediately. And the guy came out with a weapon and started to knock on the car. I get scared, I lock in the vehicle. A few minutes, I see them, they conceal the weapons. And a couple seconds after that, the police vehicle pull up. But I was still scared and shocked about what transpired. Despite I was within my legal rights to do the flyover based on client's requests, based on what happened the day before. Yesterday, it was every crowd within the vicinity. So the clients within the Guyana Park area asked for a flyover, which I comply with, and I did. Today is Sunday, but I still came out to support the clients because they needed that, because they weren't feeling safe based on what was happening. And as a person attached, that is my job. So despite the police came, I was still scared. I know the guys put away the firearm and the police were there, but I was still scared because there was a lot of media places and a lot of cameras, a lot of strange people there. I'm a legal citizen, Afro-Guyanese. I work day to day to provide for my family. I think I was doing an honest job, but right now, I am very scared for my life.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Moving along very quickly. Again, that was Sunday. And then we heard from a gentleman who said, President the Mohammeds, that a sitting member of parliament coerced him. He alleged, he's making an allegation. A sitting member of parliament for the PPP coerced him to make some negative comments against the Mohammeds. It's one weekend, One weekend. Mind you, they said the people in call election just now. Look back like the guy from GRA. Said they call election just now. One weekend, gentleman has come forward to say he was coerced to make negative statements against the Mohammeds. That's what he said. Dagaday. Take a look, fisherman.
Everybody, good night. His name is Agadi. I am paid as Pandit Prakash and as PPP for broadcast Mohammed name for wrongfully. I get paid for do that. And they come for me a house. When they come for me a house, I get scared, and when I go, put me inside the yard. Call me yard and carry me inside. When they carry me inside, I can't do not because I get scared. And he started telling me for Batak Mohammed and said so and so. Anyhow, he want me to do the next page around for say smuggle gold and drugs. And he will pay me. He will pay me 50,000 for do that and do that. But that thing they want to see me do them, that me get post, but he for do that, get paid for do that. And me get scared that the police come and house to me and me and nobody for back me up. And when we go in the yard, I can't run from the yard because you can say thief and I remember carry me inside. I can see the video one neck inside the house and then the chair sit down.
Yeah. Damning allegations, folks. Intimidation. Left, right, and center. Just today, in Region 1, in the Martikai sub-region, we learned that agents of the Mohammeds were there doing some political work. Typical PPP. busload of them went to obstruct the people's business there. What's happening in this country? I thought they said this man is not a threat to them. I thought Jack Dio and Irfan said that Asruddin Mohammed is not a threat. I thought that's what he said. He said the REO, chairman of the NDC, the RDC, councillors, PPP all. PPP all. Hooligan thugs. PPP scripts. Went to disrupt. What was happening there in Region 1 just today? Just today. Well, all of this was happening over the weekend, folks. Well, all of this was happening over the weekend. All of this. Irfan was in Region 3. The IFLUT graduate was in Region 3 and he had some company. Oh, he had some company there. He had some company. He had a word or two for Asruddin Mohammed, who's not a threat to them. Who is not a threat to them? Had as a side, former PNCR front bencher, back bencher, side bencher, former PNCR member, Tandai McAllister. Who knows him again, said Irfan is your friend. Irfan is her friend. Irfan is her friend. Irfan is her friend. That's what she said. Her words. I'm not going to fight you for that. But you know, Irfan had a thing or two to say about Mr. Mohammed. I would only advise, if you can vilify people, at least don't try to copy. You know, Mohammed goes to different communities and he's always flocked by people. There's an excitement for him for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know. There's an excitement for him. And he's always flocked by people when he visits. And I saw them trying to, create this kind of excitement for Irfan. Why? Why you are exposing yourself like this? A manufactured excitement. It was so pathetic. Savitri is telling them, come along. Come. No. Cameras rolling. Lights, cameras, action. Savitri, come along. Flocky now. What kind of manufacture? Is either you're excited by the candidate or you're not? Savitri said, all right, no. Lights, cameras, action. Go. Go, everybody. Go. Flock. This is madness, folks. This is madness. And then he talks about it. He talks about his friend. He talks about his former friend. He talked about his former friend because they were friends going along until the Americans brought the sanctions. They were friends. It's not APNU AFC make the term bad friends. As he is saying, as he wants to say, and he's pumping up. He's trying to get some energy from the crowd, but them buying it. He's trying to get them riled up against Asruddin Mohammed. He's looking for the cheers, yeah. But he ain't finding it. A lot of people looking for the cheers too. He said this is not victimization. It's just the law. It's just the law. Well, if you believe that, you believe in unicorns too. And you believe Santa Claus is really actually comes down the chimney and delivers millions of toys around the world in one night. You could believe that as well.
I arrived in the country last night and this morning. A few media houses called me. And they asked me a question about the rule of law in relation to GRA and one Asruddin Mohammed. I'll just give you an example. When we came in government, for the first year and a half. The very people who are now saying they're standing up with him, they accuse me as president of being too close to the Mohammeds. You remember that? They spread lies and they tell tales on the very social media. You remember that? But that is the thing with the rule of law. The GRA made it very clear that there is something called post-audit. And they made it clear that our international partners, International Tax Agency, were working with them. And they have a duty and responsibility when information comes before them to act in the interest of the rule of law, to act in the interest of the country. We don't deny anyone their rights. You can go to court and challenge it. How that is victimization by the government. But it suits a particular narrative. It suits a narrative.
I don't know why everyone's always shouting. Shouting, always so angry. My God. No wonder people don't want to rush him naturally. Nobody wants to go to anger like that. No one, I think I said, no, no, no. Lights, cameras, action. No, no, go, 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 go. Rent a crowd. Manufactured excitement. See, when you got the country's purse at your disposal, you can pay for almost anything. Almost anything. So we saw former PNCR member Tandai McAllister, and you know, some folks said, we don't know so long Tandai left. You know, President Irfan Ali was talking about engaging Tandai during COVID. Folks said, good, Tandai went tight with me all through COVID. It's so long Tandai left. Folks. Chief Scrutineer for the PNCR, Carol Smith Joseph, she wrote a post on Facebook about Tandai. You know, she ever write a post like that on me, I dig a hole. I just, I look wrong like my GRA friend. I look wrong and I climb in a hole. You know, folks, it's so long Tandai. God, Tandai sit down with me all them days during COVID, and we so long.
During COVID, no one wanted to risk their lives. None. We are not fair weather friends. And it is during those periods that I first made contact with Tandy. I call her Tandy, Tandai, anything goes right now. But she reached out to be a part of something positive, to save the lives of people when we had that mass distribution across the country. We didn't have resources. We were not in government.
He said, folks, that is what he said over the weekend. And as I said, Chief Scrutineer for the PNCR, Carl Smith Joseph, she said, listen, you don't worry with when some busy-eyed birds left the tree. You don't abandon the tree. You know, the bird can do the bird can do. Jump up the top, land on the ground. What have you? You got to stay and tend to the tree. You got to stay and tend to the palm tree. Bird can do what the bird got to do, folks. I want repeat the rest. We got to have a special show. Tandai, congrats, sir. You know, you can serve whatever master you want to serve in this country. You know, and so on. Congrats. Carol Smith Joseph's post. It's worth to read. It's worth to read. Folks, it's that went a little while now. We thought the thing Tanda is still here. Tanda is still here. Yeah. It wasn't to be, folks. Wasn't to be. T.D. Jake said, all that left you couldn't stay. You know, you believe in a man who orders the steps. And all who stay couldn't leave. Could not leave. That being said, folks, we got some other things. Some other things that are happening. Actually, the folks harassing the people. And so on. No word yet. Coalition 2.0 to be or not to be. Look like it's tending to the last part there. Not to be. Whatever it is, folks. Tomorrow's another day. Once in GT, it's more excitement. It's more excitement. Tomorrow is another. No word yet. No word yet on how things are going. No word yet on how things are going. And there's where we leave it. The closer. Working People's Alliance had a press conference today. GCOM. They still don't like Claudette. GCOM might be ready for an election. WPA said, no. Nothing irregular. It is not. Nothing irregular. Claudette got to go still. Clean voters list, biometrics. You know the whole story. Top to bottom. The closer. WPA on GCOM.
WPA believes that while GCOM may be ready to conduct elections to meet the statutory deadline, it is simply not ready to conduct a free and fair election. GCOM's failure to meet the latter standard is due to a combination of delaying tactics on the part of a majority of the Commission and the capture of the organization's machinery by the PPP. The WPA therefore declares that it has lost full confidence in GCOM to deliver free and fair elections. This is indeed a travesty which our country can ill afford. In a situation where successive elections have been challenged by both sides of the political divide, GCOM's stubbornness and downright disregard for the recommendations of the opposition and those of several observer organizations smacks of official conspiracy to deliver fraudulent elections. WPA is convinced that the PPP will do anything to manufacture a victory at the election. But we ask, why is GCOM prepared to take such a colossal risk? Why is GCOM's chair prepared to risk our credibility by presiding over the most barefaced seizure of the electoral process? These questions beg answers.
Yeah, there we have it, Dr. Hines. We got 4,000 plus of you joining us tonight. Hold right there. Let's take a quick screenshot. That being said, folks, that's our time and that's our program. We're going to share it on, I think, my profile or on a page someplace, and you can see me holding for a screenshot. And in all of these thousands y'all are going to see there, that's you guys. That's you guys watching us. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I took another screenshot there. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Yep. The psalmist says all is vanity and vexation and spirit. We don't do it for the love. We don't do it for the likes. We do it for the love. Folks, this can be a very tumultuous election season. I'm just warning you. If anything should happen to me, if them boys apprehend me, kidnap me, I want you to send Odessa. I want you to send Melly. Don't even send Burke. Don't even send Burke. Y'all send Fato. Send Fato. Send Fato. Story done. That being said, folks, that's our time. That's our program. Thanks for being here with us. Mandy, Rastaman, Jack Power, the Godfather. Good to have you in the live, folks, and all of you. It's been a pleasure. It's been a privilege being here with you, folks. That's our program. See you guys on the next one. Yvette, Iban, Sandra, Desmond, Diana, Adam, Bibi, Sandy Ford. Good to see you on the live. Lovely, Lily, Bascom, Sharon Bascom, Charles Nelson, Christopher. Don't send nobody. Don't even send on a parliamentary colleague. Send Fata. She can hit the target. Stay well, folks. Stay well. Send Fata with the wig, to be specific. Yes. Thank you, Christopher Chichester. Thank you. Send Fata and the wig. Can't miss with that. See you guys soon. Take care.